Welcome back, everybody. It's another episode of Let's Move Austin. I am your co-host, Chris Angel, here with Teresa, your host. Hello, Teresa.
Hello, Chris. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Well, listen, this is exciting because everybody I know of wants more money in some fashion or another. And I think
that's pretty true.
sometimes real estate can play a role in that. Maybe that money can sometimes go to another house or something. So what I want to talk about was like, how do we know when it's time to move? What are the signs? Because I think there are signs.
Yeah. I think sometimes, when you're in one phase of your life, you move a lot. And so you're just kind of always ready to move. Yeah. And then after you put down some roots and you get living, you might not realize that it might actually be time for you to move again. Yeah. And I've kind of boiled it down into three major categories from the people that I speak to on a daily basis, weekly basis that are, ready to make that move. And I talk to them, why are you moving? What's your motivation? These are kind of the three things that I think people look at first.
Right. Yeah. Let's start. What's the first one that comes to mind?
The first one is a lifestyle change. Yep. And this is a fairly broad bucket. So we've all heard the phrases, downsizing. And so when I say lifestyle change, I mean much more than that, though. It's not just people that, have raised their kids in a community and now they have all this house and nobody's really living in it. It is a lifestyle change, but there's more to it. Here in Austin, as many people have heard, if you live here, intimately, our traffic is really, it weighs on you. So if your lifestyle has changed where you used to work south of the river and you live south of the river, but now you work north of the river,
right? Yep.
That's a big lifestyle change.
Big time.
You just added to your commute and everything. So could be a job change. Could be it could be a divorce. We have to do an episode on divorce, Chris. There's so many things that go into that, but it's, a major lifestyle change. What else goes into lifestyle change? Also just deciding you're done. I'm just done with the yard. I'm not using the pool. Right. I just put a new roof on it. I don't want to do the next big project, just like you're just kind of done doing the DIY stuff.
Yeah, we used to call it like the 7-year itch. Like, you just kind of get bored with what you have and you're like ready for something new,
All right. Yeah. I can't say I know that it goes in 7-year cycles. I think for some people it's much longer and for others it's shorter, but it seems like the thought starts with a lifestyle change.
Yeah. So like if you're noticing discontentment with some of your surroundings, you're like, I hate this yard, or, I always have to do projects on this house. Like maybe those are signs that there's something in the lifestyle that's wanting to be different. And that would be a good sign to move.
Yes. Thank you for putting it that way. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny with the advent of HGTV and Joanna Gaines and all these like different things. We're like, I think the minute we move into a house, we're ready to actually like then sell it and move into the next one because we always want the thing that we don't have. And I do think there are signs that make that move more possible.
Okay, and that leads us to the second thing, because you can have the desire to move all you want, and I have met with people that, have the itch, as you put it, and I try to talk them off the ledge. Because if you don't have point two, it doesn't make sense to move. Point two is some cash flow. And I'm talking about some money in the bank to fund your move. It does, unless you're, if you're taking out a mortgage, there's going to be a couple grand in expenses. Okay. Yep. You have, you're going to probably have to hire movers. I mean, there are some expenses, and I don't like to see people over leveraged. I don't think a mortgage is a bad idea. I have no problem with debt for that purpose, but it has to be reasonable. Yep. And if you have made a lifestyle change, let's say you've gone from a dual income family to a one income family, because now you have a baby and one spouse is staying home or one parent is staying home, maybe that's not the wise time to tack on additional mortgage. So the lifestyle change first usually gets people thinking, then we take a look at the cash, and that's point two.
Right. Yeah. Cash flow is a big deal. Like you said, there's so many expenses people don't think of, from movers to new paint to closing costs.
Now, let's not try to talk them out of it, Chris, but
well, you should know.
I want people to be successful in their desire to move.
Right. Well, the point is it requires, there's some cash that needs to happen. And if you don't have the cash, then you may need to have a different plan that gets you to where you want to go at some point. But
I would agree with that. And the third thing, it can somewhat counter out the cash flow if your cash is a little slim, because the third thing is equity. Yeah. How much equity do you have in your current home?
Yeah.
you will not believe, I mean, here in Austin, everybody knows property values are going up, but many people don't really believe that their house could sell for that much.
Right.
I meet with people on a regular basis that aren't sure what their real value is. They know what they're taxed on, but they don't know if it would sell for that much.
It made me think of, the 7-year itch. If we go back 7 years from now, it's right at the time of this recording is 2018. So 2011, if somebody bought in 2011,
oh my God.
And it's now, and the appreciation that's happened in Austin from 2011 till now, people are sitting on a ton of equity, I would guess.
Well, unless they've taken out a home equity line of credit and used it on something. I mean, I like to investigate all those things with someone as they're beginning the process, because we don't want surprises towards the end. But typically someone that's owned a home for 7 years is going to have a lot of equity. It would be very difficult for me to come up with a scenario in which they don't.
Right. Yeah, big time. I think National Association of Realtors says typically somewhere between 7 and 9 years is the average that people will move or move a house. So, I mean, that puts you at 2009 to 2011, somewhere in that window.
Well, and especially here in Austin, that was when the market took a dip. So they were kind of artificially low then. So the equity margin probably even higher. But so that's the third thing is what's your equity situation with your current home? Because that can determine a lot of your buying power.
It's like, do you know off the top of your head, the appreciation in the last year or two, like what in Austin?
Yeah, I think we did an episode on this. I should have refreshed my memory before we looked, but I mean, we're seeing 5-10%, kind of that would be my general, some neighborhoods even more, some neighborhoods and price ranges a little less, but yeah, I mean, it's significant.
And the average sales price in Austin right now is what?
We're just under 300 average, but that is including a large area, including the outskirts. I mean, if I go like zip code by zip code, like for example, the neighborhood I live in, when I first started selling real estate here, you could buy a nice house still in the threes. There hasn't been anything in the threes for years.
So if you took 300,000 and it appreciated at 10% in a year, let's just say numbers, that's $30,000 of extra equity or cash that if you sold your current house, you could put into the next house. And that's just in the last year. So if it's appreciated 10% 2 years in a row, then, you're sitting on close to 60 grand in money you can put as a down payment, right?
Right. Or use it to defray expenses or whatnot. But I really, or use it for, bigger down payment. You end up with a smaller payment. And many of us, the first home we bought was the smallest amount down we could possibly come up with, and so it might be nice to put a more substantial down payment now and have a smaller monthly payment. Those are all options in certain situations. And my point is, many times people think they have to wait to call me until they have the whole plan in place, but I can be a resource to help determine what the plan would be best at. You don't have to be offended if you call me and you inquire what your house would sell for and what your options would be, and then you decide it's not right for you. That's having a good decision process.
Right. Absolutely. But that's the cool part. I mean, that whole equity piece takes us back to the lifestyle piece now, because if you have equity and you don't have to have been in your house for 7 years to have equity in Austin, the way it's appreciated, it's always, I mean, I don't know anybody that doesn't have the next vision of what their lifestyle they want to be. Like we're always trying to baby step the next level of lifestyle we have as humans. Cause we always, as humans, I think are wired for expansion. Like we're always like, what's the next place I can expand to? That's a lifestyle thing. And sometimes the thing that's missing for you to make that move is the resources to do it. And if you've been in a house for a year, 2 years or more, you may have the equity to make that lifestyle change. So,
right.
I think cool. One of the places to start, Teresa, would be you have something like a home equity audit where like you can come out and.
I do. And it's kind of distinguishes. And I find that calling it that makes it more clear for potential sellers to understand they're not wasting my time. Like we know we're just coming to investigate what would this home really sell for? What would it take to put into it to get what out of it? And so that's called an equity audit. And you can request one by, giving me a call or emailing me. But basically, I'll ask you a little bit about your home in advance. I'll come with some rough numbers. And after I see the house, I'll kind of make an adjustment. It doesn't take a lot of time, but it can give you a lot of information.
Yeah, super good. So if you're thinking about that space of like, okay, I do have one of these signs of that it's time to move. A great place that you've got the itch. One of the places to start to figure out if you can scratch that itch or, make that move.
Well, we got to stop the analogy there.
is to reach out for a home equity audit with Teresa. So Teresa, yes. Where can people reach you for scheduling that?
Best place, just give me a call, 512-297-3442. You can hit the website and send a message through there too if you just feel better typing.
Perfect. Yeah, you guys can go to letsmoveaustin.com to send a message that way. Awesome, Teresa. Great stuff. I love it. Home equity audits are super important. I love real estate and the freedom that it gives us. So thanks for helping us facilitate that.
Absolutely. Thanks, Chris.
See ya.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.